The reason I came all the way here today is to take you, Michelle, and Lily back with us.
What?
Us old folks have come from far away to ask you this. After our son's passing, our only hope is you, Michelle, and our granddaughter, Lily.
Hope? I was only surprised that they called me their hope, even though I had been treated as a nuisance before. But I understood what hope meant to my in-laws. My name is Michelle. I'm 37 years old. When I was 30, I married a man my age named Daniel, and at his request, we started living with his parents in their house. Although I was a little anxious about living together, we were able to live without any major troubles between us and my in-laws. 2 years into our marriage, I gave birth to a girl, and we named her Lily. My in-laws were very happy about the birth of their first grandchild.
It was my dream to walk around the neighborhood with my grandchild. Thank you for giving birth to such a cute girl, Michelle.
In this way, our family was having happy days. However, when Lily turned 3, my husband caught a contagious disease, was hospitalized, and eventually passed away. Then I also caught the same disease as my husband, and although I survived, I was left with a disability in my legs. This plunged me into the depths of misfortune in the 5th year of our marriage. I lost my beloved husband and lost my legs, leading to a life confined to a wheelchair, losing all hope for living. However, I had to somehow raise my young daughter, Lily. That was the only thought that kept me going day by day. On the other hand, this incident completely changed the attitude of my in-laws towards me. I thought we had built a little trust by living together, but after losing their son, they started to see me, their daughter-in-law, as their enemy.
Because Michelle married Daniel, he had bad luck and caught that disease.
Daniel was our only hope.
Yes, it's too much to bear to outlive our only son, who we raised with care from a baby. His life was all smooth sailing until he married Michelle.
Now that my husband is gone, my in-laws blamed everything on me and berated me. Although I felt cornered, considering the pain of suddenly losing their son, I couldn't talk back and accepted everything they said for the time being.
I wish at least Daniel was still alive.
Indeed. Only the wife with ruined legs survives.
Being showered with such words became a daily occurrence. Although I couldn't walk, my hands were still functional, so I did everything within my capacity, like folding laundry and helping Lily change her clothes. However, without the help of my in-laws, I couldn't manage general housework or Lily's baths, making life impossible. So no matter what was being said, I was grateful for their help and thankful to them. As days went by, my parents-in-law began to express their anxiety about their future more frequently.
When Daniel got married, we made living together a condition so that we would be taken care of in our old age. But now Daniel is gone, and only his wife, who can't walk, is left. What will become of us?
The family next door, their son's wife, helps with the farming work, and on Mother's Day or Father's Day, she takes them out for delicious food. But look at us. I'm envious of other families.
Really, if only a better daughter-in-law had married into our family, we drew the short straw.
Such words were also hurled at me. Lying down at night, I cried every day, but as days passed, a new determination began to sprout within my shattered self. It's no use just crying all the time. I have to be strong for Lily. There must be something I can do, even if I can't walk. Just as I started to think this way, an old friend from high school, Lisa, contacted me. It must have been tough for you. I know it's hard, but I can at least be someone you can talk to, so feel free to contact me anytime. Yeah, thank you. Lisa has been a friend since high school. After working for many years at a financial company, she is now freelancing. She is not married and is still actively working, which gives her a toughness I lack, making her someone I admire. We began to update each other on our lives through texts from time to time. On the other hand, the verbal abuse from my in-laws escalated daily. Their house had many steps, and there were times when I, in a wheelchair, couldn't move around on my own and had to reluctantly ask my in-laws for help. I'm sorry, mother-in-law. Could you help me out a bit?
Again? I just did that.
I'm sorry.
Seriously, you should be taking care of us. Yet, why do we have to take care of a daughter-in-law like you? Plus, you eat as much as anyone else.
I'm sorry.
You're just a parasite. A leech.
At that moment, I calmly whispered to myself, I've reached my limit. There were 2 reasons I stayed in this house despite the harsh treatment from my in-laws. The first was a promise to my late husband. He has said this before we married.
I'm an only child, and my parents wish to live with us. If we marry, we will have to live at my parents' house. Please understand this.
I was attracted to his family-oriented side and agreed to marry him with full understanding of this arrangement. This made it hard for me to just leave their house now. The second reason was my daughter's nursery school. Lily had been attending a local nursery since she was 2.5 and seems to really like the teachers and her friends there. I thought it would be too cruel to change her living environment now, after losing her father and with her mother unable to walk. Despite the complaints from my in-laws, I had decided to stay at their house. But the moment my mother-in-law called me a parasite, a leech, something inside me broke. I wondered if I could really protect and raise Lily if I couldn't even protect my own heart. I thought I would stay until I could help you and father-in-law, but I don't know when that will be possible now. And I can't go on living in this environment. I've just had enough. I have to leave. I asked Lily if it was okay to change nursery schools, and she said,
I'm a bit sad, but it's okay.
Lily.
I wonder if I can make friends at the new nursery school.
Yes, Lily, you sure can. So I decided to leave their house and for the time being move in with my parents. When I conveyed my decision, my in-laws had an indifferent attitude, as if they were glad to be rid of a nuisance like me. On the moving day, Lisa, busy with work, came to help. We met in person after a long time and spent time talking about various things. My father had passed away a few years ago, and my mother was living alone at home. She welcomed us back at her home warmly. Thus, Lily and I began a new life at my mother's house. We also decided on a kindergarten for Lily to attend. It was convenient because the school bus came right to the front door. About 2 years after we started living at my mother's house, I received several missed calls from my mother-in-law, whom I hadn't heard from at all. There were also voicemail messages, so I listened to them. And she said,
Michelle, long time no see. I was just wondering how you and Lily are doing. I'm worried, you know. If you ever need anything, please feel free to contact me.
After listening to the voicemail, I was taken aback. My mother-in-law's voice was softer than I had ever heard before. I still remember the cold, silent faces of my in-laws as Lily and I were moving out. Yet now, they suddenly claimed to be worried. The next day, a voicemail from mother-in-law arrived.
Michelle, darling, I saw on TV. Isn't it amazing? You're earning $20,000 a month now?
Hearing this, I was startled. Did they contact me because of how much I was earning? Currently, I'm writing a blog about stock investments, and indeed, I've been surprisingly successful in earning profits. The mentioned $20,000 was just the peak amount I've achieved, but it's true that I've been making profits close to that amount. My friend Lisa was the one who introduced me to the job. Even if you're disabled, as long as you can use a computer, there's hope. She introduced me to several books and videos on investment, prompting me to start studying while I was still living at my husband's parents' house. And so after moving back to my parents' house, I began investing using the savings my husband had left behind. Although it didn't go well at first, about a year later I started to see an increase in profits. Encouraged by Lisa, I started a blog on investing which garnered attention and led to media appearances. Probably my in-laws saw me on TV discussing my current income, which is why they suddenly reached out to me. I decided to ignore any calls from them, regardless of how many times they tried to contact me. The voicemails shifted from wanting me and Lily to move back in to requests for money for renovations and dreams of going on a cruise. I was astonished by the boldness of them. And so, I continued to ignore their calls. About half a year later, my in-laws showed up at my parents' house, causing both my mother and me to be taken aback. We let them in to hear them out.
Michelle, this is terrible. You never answer our calls, so we had to come and talk to you directly.
Exactly. You know you've got calls from us. Couldn't you have called back at least once?
They went on to complain about me ignoring their calls for half a year. My mother looked on, bewildered.
We came all this way today, hoping to take Michelle and Lily back with us.
What?
As elderly folks, we've come from afar to ask this. After our son passed, our only hope is you, Michelle, and our granddaughter, Lily.
Hope? I was shocked that they referred to me as their hope, after being treated as nothing but a nuisance. It seems that to them, praising my husband as their hope and reliable one back in the days was actually code for "we're counting on your money." Such thoughts crossed my mind.
Please, come back to live with us.
I was at a loss for words, thinking back on everything. Finally, I spoke up. But I can't live there anymore. Even if I wanted to, it's absolutely impossible.
Huh? Why?
You told me, Jane, that I'm a parasite and a leech.
Huh? When did I?
Yes, you did say that when I was living there.
Well, I don't remember saying such awful things.
Oh, that's strange, Jane. Have you started losing your memory? I feel bad for you.
Hey, I'm not losing my memory. Stop mocking me.
I'm not mocking you at all. Besides, you've given me a variety of nicknames, like a pest and useless wife. Jane, you're really good at coming up with nicknames. I almost admire your creativity.
Living together can certainly lead to some frustrations. But you know, we really loved you, Michelle. Believe me, okay?
Jane looked at John, urging him to persuade me further.
That's right. We thought of you as our own daughter, and our only hope is for you to come back home with us. Being around young people energizes us, and we want to live with you and Lily forever. Isn't that right?
They desperately tried to justify themselves, repeatedly insisting I return back to their home. When I was living at your place, I started studying investment. Despite my disability, I wanted to earn my own money to help you both in your old age, but whenever I was reading books or working on the computer, you two shouted at me for being a carefree wife who only played around.
Back then, I didn't realize you were studying to make money.
Listen, Jane, as you said in your voicemail, I did manage to earn $20,000 a month.
That's right. I saw it on TV. It's amazing. Truly worthy of being our daughter-in-law.
But what do you think will happen if I return?
What do you mean? We'll all be happy, won't we?
No. Then you two will become the money-eating parasites living off my income.
What?
What did you just say?
I never want that to happen. After all, you wouldn't want to be scolded by your daughter-in-law as leeches or parasites, right? So for your sake, I definitely will not go back and live with you two. At that moment, the doorbell rang, and Lily and her kindergarten teacher entered. As I wasn't there to greet her at the bus stop as usual, the teacher brought Lily home. Oh, I'm sorry for the trouble. Then Jane appeared in the hallway from the living room.
Lily, I've missed you. You've grown so much.
Hi, Grandma. Pointing at Jane, Lily said to her teacher,
This grandma always says mean things to Mommy.
The kindergarten teacher looked at Jane in surprise, while Jane was speechless with her eyes wide open.
Teacher, you said if someone is mean to us, we should tell you, right?
Yes, that's right.
Grandma was very mean to Mommy.
The teacher silently stared at Jane, who turned red and looked down in embarrassment and silence.
Thank you for telling me, Lily. Well, I should be going now.
Thank you very much. As the teacher left, my father-in-law, who had witnessed everything, approached my mother-in-law, and without further attempts to persuade me, they quietly left together. Lily, you protected Mommy, didn't you?
Yes, because Mommy was always being scolded by Grandpa and Grandma and crying at night. It was so sad.
Hearing this, I couldn't help but hug Lily tightly, moved by her understanding of my pain. My mother also comforted me, acknowledging the hardships I've endured. Thus, the relentless calls from Jane and John ceased. They had hoped to rely 100% on my earnings, but now they live modestly on their pension. Now that my in-laws aren't constantly calling, I feel like a whole new person. Although investing in blogging might not always be stable, taking this new step after losing my husband and becoming unable to walk, I was able to gain confidence in myself, realizing even in this condition I can earn this much. This was a very significant experience for me, and I am deeply grateful to Lisa, who provided me with this opportunity and offered me heartfelt advice. Lisa and I still meet up for meals occasionally and maintain a close relationship like family. Lily will be entering elementary school next year. I am determined to earn a steady income and raise my daughter well.